Hi guys, it's Archivist here. I hope you're having a nice day. Today I come to you with a top 5 for one of the most controversial consoles ever, which is pretty impressive considering it's not even out yet. I am of course talking about the Xbox One. It's easy to think that the new Xbox is just pure evil after Microsoft's PR nightmare, however I decided to task myself with finding 5 points concerning the console that place it in a somewhat favourable light.
Number 5.
First off, there is the Kinect. To some this is just a pointless peripheral designed to appeal to a more casual audience, however it does have some cool functionality. Kinect can be used to activate the console, track very precise body movements, and open programs while still playing games. Whether or not this is a benefit to you really comes down to personal preference. The way I see it, if Microsoft are going to force us to buy it, why not get the best out of it we can?
Number 4.
We've heard a lot about cloud gaming from Microsoft, but what does it actually mean? Well, apparently certain processes will take place on Microsoft's own servers, meaning that the Xbox One can perform much better than its internal hardware would initially suggest. However, I do say this with an air of skepticism. Firstly, developers are going to have to get to grips with this new system, meaning that it probably won't be used to its full potential for quite a while. Also, this suggests that you're going to need a fairly stable internet connection. I mean, what happens if your Wi-Fi cuts out? Does the game's frame rate cut in half?
Number 3.
The new Xbox controller is very much based on what's come before, but under the hood it's been upgraded with over 40 technical and design innovations. For me, the most exciting new addition are the impulse triggers. Personally, I believe physical feedback to be an integral part of immersing myself into an experience. People sometimes fail to recognise the importance of a controller, despite the fact it is one of the major constants that will prevail across the entirety of a console's lifecycle. I can say with a certain degree of confidence that the Xbox One controller looks like it will stand the test of time.
Number 2.
One fairly underrated aspect about the Xbox One is that it will support dedicated servers for every game released. What this means is that you aren't going to be kicked from game lobbies when the assigned host decides to leave the game in the interest of preserving his kill to death ratio. Obviously some games will benefit from this more than others, but ultimately this is definitely something to look forward to.
It's number 1.
What I consider to be the best aspect concerning the Xbox One are the first party launch titles. Firstly, there is Forza 5, a realistic driving game that will run at 60 frames per second in 1080p. Then there's Dead Rising 3, a pretty ridiculous zombie game that can feature an enormous number of enemies on screen at once. And finally there is Rise Son of Rome, a beautiful looking title that focuses on delivering a cinematic experience. So often a console releases to a wave of hype, only to suffer when the realisation hits you that there is nothing to play on it. Thankfully for Xbox fans, the first party launch lineup will be able to keep players going until AAA titles such as Titanfall come out next year. Those are my top 5 reasons to be excited for the Xbox One. Are you a fan of Microsoft's new box? Or does the arguably underpowered nature of its hardware annoy you? Let me know in the comments below. As always people, thanks very much for watching, and see you next time.